Do you feel like an imposter? Do you feel like wherever you are in your life, at your school, in your job, in whatever extracurricular you're involved in, do you feel and you shake and you worry every single moment that they're gonna find out who you really are? Then you need to watch this video right now, guys. But stop making excuses, stop whining, stop, right? Get at it. No excuses, just dominate. All right, guys, what is up? It's Dr. Andre Pinesett, the study doc, and today we're talking about imposter syndrome. I actually call it the everywhere syndrome because I feel like, as we're gonna talk about in this video, that everyone in some way, no matter what their background is, if they're the minority, the majority, wherever they are, people feel like imposters. That's why we have so much social anxiety. It's why it's nerve-wracking to go up and talk to someone. So we hate to give speeches in front of classes is because we are always worried about being judged and being frowned upon and being found out as the imposter we are. And so in this video today, I want to talk about that imposter syndrome and how we can overcome it, how we can move past it, and I hope you guys enjoy it. All right, let's get it. So there's 3 points. The first point, okay, is that it is your dream. Far too often, guys, people miss out on their dream because they're worried about how other people are looking at them and judging them and what they think, and that stops them from reaching their dream. And for you guys, right, if you're watching this video and you feel like an imposter, it's because you want to be better, right? That's why you feel like an imposter. Like, man, I gotta be the best. You strive for that. And as part of that strive for the best, you have a dream, right? And you want to achieve that dream. And you're worried that you're not enough. You don't have what it takes to get to that dream, and that other people are going to find you out. Right? Or more commonly for some of you guys, people have told you you're an imposter. People have told you you don't belong. People can't figure out how you're there, and they're always throwing little jabs and little digs at you to make you feel like an imposter. And so you worry that they're right. Oh my gosh. We have to remember, it is your dream. And nobody's going to care about your dream like you do. It doesn't matter to them if you succeed. It matters to you. So at the end of the day, you have to deal with whether it's success or whether it's failure or whether it's whatever. And so we've got to stop this, where we're so concerned about what other people think, say about us, or do to us. I don't care. And I'll give you the example, right, of this imposter, understanding what your dream is that I interviewed at a medical school. This was an Ivy League medical school way back in the day, and I interviewed at this Ivy League medical school. And I wanted to go to this medical school. I was so enthused by the way the curriculum was structured, everything was there. I was like, man, it's gonna take me to the next level. I'm gonna level up going to this Ivy League school. And in the interview process, I'm sitting down, it's me, right? Young, black guy, first generation college student, right? I'm there. And the guy sitting across from me is this old white guy, and he opens up the interview. Not even like, hello, how you doing, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, hey, how you doing? I'm sitting down, I'm shaking his hand. He's like, good, let's get this started. And the first question out of his mouth is, do you think you would be able to adapt to being here? Because we don't have a lot of students like you. Now, I'm in a medical school interview and I get this asked to me, very first question. I want to go to this medical school. In that moment, this man is attempting, right? And we know what he's saying, that, hey, you're a black guy, you come from a low income background, we're all, lineage from 1872, and 99% of our school is white, you're gonna be the only black face here. How can you adapt to being here and fit in? How can you think you deserve to be here at Yale? And he's trying to impress his imposter syndrome onto me. And for some of you guys, you can relate to this, whether it's like wide open like that, or it's other subtle things that people make you feel like an imposter. They're poking at your self-esteem. And in this moment, I have to decide, right? This is in this moment of this medical interview, I have to decide whether I'm gonna get belligerent, because I could flip a desk over. I'm a big guy, I'll flip that desk over, right? I can do that. Or I can do what I did. I composed myself and I said, like me how? Highly successful, willing to outwork anybody, intelligence coming out my ears. Is that what you mean? Like you're worried your students wouldn't be able to keep up? I'd have to slow down for them? And he was like, well, no, that's not what I meant. I'm like, yeah, I know what you meant. But what I'm telling you is that I'm an excellent student. And I go where the opportunities are, and this place has awesome opportunities to advance my career. Furthermore, with this Ivy League stamp on me, I'll be able to reach back and pull other students of color, of diversity into this university, so that way they don't have to worry about whether they belong or not. And that was my answer. And we went on, we talked about another 30 minutes, whatever. The conversation was fine, but it was sour to me But we had to make that decision. And what led me to that decision and saying, no, you won't pull me into that, is that I had to remember that it was my dream. It's not his dream. It matters to me. And if it matters enough to you to get your dream, you can't let other people attempt to tear you down or even let yourself tear yourself down and not get you to that dream. You've got to recognize it is your dream. It matters to you. This is everything you've ever wanted. All I ever wanted to do is be a doctor. I told everybody from forever, I want to be, since I was 8 years old, when my dad told me I could be a doctor or I could live in the projects. And that's a whole nother long story. But that's what he told me. So I want to be a doctor. And I told everybody I'm going to be a doctor. I'm going to make it. It's going to happen for me. I'm going to be successful. It's my dream. So when you guys are going through your career and you have moments where you feel like an imposter, you must recognize that it is your dream, and therefore it is only about what you think is possible, what you think you are, what you think you could become, and what you think you could achieve, right? That is what it comes down to. And that's number one, guys. If we get it, it's your dream. It doesn't matter what anybody else says. The second thing we must recognize is that the second thing is that only you can make the dream real. We have to understand this. I'm going to check my notes. I do this one take. I want to make sure that I'm getting this right. Only you can make the dream real. And so when we're so worried about what other people think and being found out that we're a fraud, what we forget is that it's our job to make it so that we're not a fraud. Because even though we say, oh, imposter syndrome, you should feel good about being there, you the student, I talk to a lot of students who are truly imposters in the sense that they're so worried about looking dumb and being found out that they're not capable that they stay incapable. And they shouldn't actually be there because they're so busy complaining and agonizing about what everyone thinks about them, they don't put the work in. And for me as a college student, again, I'll come back to the race thing because that's been my experience with imposter syndrome, is that, as my friend Morty put it, I was a chocolate chip in a giant sea of milk. I clearly stood out. I clearly was, when you look at line 10 things up, which one of these things is not like the other? And it was me. And so I had to recognize, right, I had that feeling, but I could either be paralyzed by that thought of being an imposter, or I could say, listen, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to not be an imposter, right? And here's how it goes. It starts one, right? Hard work. So many of you guys are not willing to put the work in to make yourself great. And greatness comes from work. So we've got to put that work in to be our greatness. We can't worry about that. If you want to be the real deal, you got to work. And for me, I resigned, right? When I was told that I would never get into medical school by my counselor, right? Essentially being told I was an imposter, I resolved, I set my mind, I swore to myself that I may fail, but I will not fail because I was outworked. And I resolved that I would outwork anybody who wanted it could get it. And I say that with the strongest, anybody who wants to get some from me can get it. I'll serve you all day because I'm going to outwork you. And some of you guys are so soft in the head, so worried about being an imposter, you don't put the work in to get your dream. I will outwork anybody in here who wants to work longer, harder. I got you. Let's go. You work 23 hours, I'll work 25. I'll make it happen. Open a vortex, get a 25th hour. Don't even worry about it, right? That's how serious it has to be with your work ethic. Because there are very few things you can control in this life. Your work ethic is one of them. And if you aren't putting in the work in, you are an imposter. You are a fake. Because I'm the real deal and I'll work for mine. You got to be willing to work for yours. The second thing is focus. So many of you guys get pulled here, get pulled there. You're everywhere but where you need to be. You've got to focus on what your dream is, what your priorities are to get you to that dream. Because if you don't, you are in fact an imposter living other people's priorities, other people's, right? What's important to them and not you. You're getting to their goal, not your goal. So you've got to have that focus, that hard work. And then you've got to be knowledgeable. I hope I spelled that right. You've got to be knowledgeable. One of the great images that I keep on my computer and great quotes is from Frederick Douglass. And it says, knowledge makes a man unfit to be a slave. And it resonates so deep with me, guys, because for many of you guys, you are an imposter because maybe you are first generation. Maybe you are someone who doesn't know exactly what you need to do. Maybe you're someone who has a learning disability. Whatever your issue is, the way to fix it, yes, it's hard work, yes, it's focus, but hard work in the wrong direction is not productivity, right? It's just busyness. And many of you guys, maybe you figure out the hard work, maybe you figure out the focus, but you can't focus on the right things and do it the right way and do it the smart way, right? Like smart studying, smart pre-medding, right? Smart pursuits of your goals because you don't have the knowledge. So if you want to not be an imposter, then be real and be really informed. You got to get educated. You've got to make reading a habit, learning a habit, not just your phone is you have the whole world at your palm. Back in my day, we had to go to the library to get a book. I can literally pull up any book in 10 seconds. I can, even if I buy the paperback, which I do from Amazon, most books on Amazon now, you can click and get a free electronic instant copy for your Kindle. It's crazy. That's how much power you have at your fingertips. But many of you guys refuse to get educated, and therefore you stay uneducated and you stay in that imposter mode. If we want to rise up, if we want to become more than our imposter, our shell, we want to become real, we have to be knowledgeable. Then we can take that knowledge, focus in on what we want, put the hard work in, refuse to be outworked, and we become the dream. Do we understand? This is what happens. And the third thing, right? So our first thing is that recognize it's your dream, it matters to you, and no one else can matter above your dream or what they think of you, whether it's imposter or whatever. The second thing is that only you can make the dream real, and you have to do it by doing hard work, focusing, and being knowledgeable about your pursuit. The third thing that we have to do, guys, is we have to recognize do you want them to be right? If someone is making you feel like you don't belong, it's up to you to decide. Do you want to be mentally weakened by their perspective and not put in the work and the focus and get the knowledge and not perform and fall short of your dream? And then what have you just done? You've confirmed to them that they were right. And for many of you guys, you struggle to find motivation because you feel deterred when people are negative to you. You feel deterred because you got these negative thoughts going on. I'm telling you to utilize and leverage those negative thoughts. And for me, I mentioned my freshman counselor told me I was not good enough to get into medical school. They didn't have what it took to succeed academically in the sciences in college. I don't hate that woman. I love that woman. Because that woman called me an imposter. And she made it perfectly clear to me that I was an imposter. And so I started doing these things to get real, and it's going to take long hours. It's going to take lots of work. All things that are worth anything require lots of work, lots of effort, lots of time. We must recognize in those moments where you don't feel like staying up and doing the work, where you don't feel like getting up and doing the work, where you don't feel like driving your butt to office hours or to class, you need the motivation, and this is the motivation. I'm gonna tell you guys something, right? It's a secret. Don't tell anybody. I keep on my computer, I stole it from the school website, a picture of that counselor and her name. And I have a long, long Word document with all the people who ever in some way slighted me and called me an imposter or made me feel like I was an imposter. And I keep all those names, including the guy at that Ivy League school in the interview. I keep them all in there, and I keep her special because she's the catalyst for all this. And in moments where I feel like I don't want to work, in moments when I feel I'm just beaten down, I'm not enough, I ask myself a simple question. Do I want all of them to be right? Do I want to have to go to them, hat in hand, right? Begging them for an opportunity? Do I want to go to them and say, oh, you were right, I didn't make it. What's next? Do I want to see the smug look on their face when they look down on me because they were right? No. Can't let that happen. Not on my watch. So I get back to work. And for you guys who struggle with motivation, understand that anger, people say anger is bad. I'm an angry cat, y'all. I'm so angry. I got so much hate in my heart for people that I can never lose. Never lost. I can't lose, y'all. I'm too angry. I got too much hostility. I don't get tired. Why? Because I'm angry. How many of you guys been in an argument, right? You're tired as all get out, right? And then your roommate comes in with their friends and they're making noise in your apartment. And you go out there and you're like, hey guys, can you keep it down? They're like, oh yeah, we'll keep it down. You go back, try to go sleep. You're tired as all, you've been up all day, you're tired. They're still making noise. You go back out there and you say, hey listen, guys, I'm trying to sleep, you keep it down. And then one of them goes, or they give a look. What happens immediately? A surge of heat. It's adrenaline. It's literally adrenaline rolling up your neck. Energize when our powers combine and you morph into a fully awake, fully hostile individual and you explode. You're a kamikaze on that room. That's the power of anger. So now what if you took all your anger from all the people who slighted you and you use that anger to activate you, not for negativity, but to push you to your dream, to say, I won't let them, if for nothing else, I won't let them be right. And I kid you freaking not, guys. At the end of the day, I can say hard work, I say all other stuff. Why I'm willing to outwork anybody is because I'm willing to do whatever's required for these people not to be right. I am willing to do whatever's required for me to go back to these people and say, look at that. And I did that. I went back to that freshman counselor and I went to her and I was like, hey, I don't know if you remember me, Andre Pinesett. I was one of your students. She's like, oh my gosh, yeah, I remember you. What have you been up to? And I said, actually, I got into Stanford Medical School. And she's like, oh my gosh, I always knew you could do it. And I said, actually, you didn't say that. In fact, you told me to change my major, told me I wasn't enough to get to medical school. But it turns out I am. And I'm not angry. I just want to thank you because you are the motivation. You are the reason that I got into Stanford Medical School. You are the reason that I'm out here hustling for these students. You are the reason that I am who I am because you were my motivation. And I handed her a copy of my acceptance letter to Stanford Medical School. And the joy from that moment, right? The original anger in that moment turned to joy when her look on her face was like, and she was embarrassed in front of her colleagues. And the feelings I felt from that, and you guys can say whatever you want about that, the visualizing of that day, visualizing that first moment when she shot all my dreams, flushed them in the trash, to the moment when I got to go back to her and say, listen, even though you tried to flush me down the drain, I'm that cockroach you can't kill. I'm back and I'm better. That has pushed me on to higher heights. That is my greatness. That is why I'm not an imposter. That's why I'm the real deal. That's why I refuse, again, to be outworked, outfocused, and outknowledged. I got it. What you want it, we can get it. That's the difference, guys. And so when you're feeling like an imposter, forget that. You belong. You belong because it's your dream. You belong because you are the only one that can make your dream real, and you're going to do the things that are required to get it done. And when you feel like you might not want to do what's required, you're going to do it because you're going to remember, if you don't do it, they were right. Do we understand? Does everybody understand? If we want to beat imposter syndrome, this is how we do it, y'all. We belong. You belong. But are you going to do what's required to get there? And does it matter enough for you to get there? To me, it matters. To my students, it matters. You got to decide if it matters to you. All right? So that's all I got for you guys today. I am Dr. Andre Pinesett, the Study Doc. If you enjoyed this video, take a second. You like it right now. Right now! You don't want to feel my anger. I'll write your name on a list. Like the video, subscribe, turn on notifications for this channel so you get all this goodness coming at you every single week, getting you to your goal. The other thing I want you to do is I want you to go down to the description box. I said, we got to work, we got to focus, we got to be knowledgeable. This is mindset. This is study skills. I have courses, trainings designed for you guys to improve all of these things, to go from imposter to the real deal, can't ignore me, so excellent, so great, I can't be denied. Click in the box below. I have discounts down there for you guys, and I have free trainings available for you so we can continue this conversation and get you to your goal. That's what I got to say for today, guys. The website, my website is studenttransformation.com. And as we always end, as we always say, it's on the shirt. It's no excuses. We just dominate. I'm an imposter. I'm first generation. I'm a minority. They look at me funny. I don't know what I'm supposed to know. I don't have the resources. I don't have a mentor. I don't have. Those are excuses, guys. Domination. Domination! Domination all day, every day. We're on it. Everyone have a wonderful day. On a happy note. No excuses, just dominate, y'all. Dr. Pinesett, I'm out. Today is the day, guys. No more excuses. No more complaining. You're going to take your future in your own hands. You're going to dominate. You're going to be successful. Get to my website, studenttransformation.com. I challenge you. What are you going to do today to make your life better?